You guys know what the album's gonna sound like? It's like,
Don't
nope.
ask me that. We good.
I don't have a clue.
We haven't figured that out yet. No, I'm curious about this dynamic as like more of a collective and not a traditional band in a lot of ways, because y'all have your own projects. You all come from different backgrounds. I know you've been like playing together for a long time. And we're talking about how being really close and knowing your bandmates and knowing how you all play together has a lot to do with you all being able to riff and freestyle at a live show. I can imagine that it wasn't always like that. So there's a two-part question. When did you all find that groove, like find your groove together? Like if you can remember that point in time, maybe you all just started playing, you only played a couple shows together and you realize, all right, we're still kind of figuring it out. And like, when can you say like, all right, it's clicking now? And then, you know, you guys you have a lot of talent all in one sitting. Who calls the shots?
That's such a good question.
When are we clicking? Yeah.
I mean, it was always locked from the beginning, I think. I mean, we got lucky. I think you just found your tribe. You know, there was like multiple different bands inside of Butcher Brown, like DJ Harrison and Andy used to play trio a lot with Tennis Shoe, like jazz trio, DJ on drums, Andy on upright. You know, I've done trio gigs with Morgan. Devon has played drums with the Randazzo Big Band. It's like, and this is going back to, you know, damn near 2012.
Yeah.
You know, even before Butcher Brown became like an official thing, it was like Cass was still in the same ecosystem. So when we decided to actually make it a unit, it locked in. It was really no, because we were listening to a lot of the same, we were sharing music. We each were like, hey, yo, check this out. This is what I'm on. We would just sit around and hang and like play video games and just turn beats on and vibe out.
Yeah.
So it was like real organic. And I knew it was special because like, I'm not sure if this happens all the time where you just find some homies, y'all get along, y'all like you respect each other and like you actually are curious what the other person has to offer. It's not like it's not an ego-driven situation.
Yeah.
Which I know is probably rare.
Super.
Yeah, it feels crazy rare. It just doesn't. You know, no disrespect to any of the other artists that I work with or any of that, but like, you know, this is kind of, it just has that feeling to it. It just has that thing of like, oh, this is so free that it unlocks what I can do. Like, I don't even know what I'm about to do because I'm in this super comfortable situation that was put together through like teamwork and through sacrifice. And just the fact that we get to go do all of these different things, not as the typical, we're not in a typical position of the musicians that are in our kind of peer situation. We're out here under an artist that we created more or less and you know, turned it into an organization that's going to take us and do all these things. So it kind of provides a vehicle for us to go travel and be a part of these different things as opposed to like trying to get there by yourself. Like,
right.
It's all me. It's more like, oh, we'll just come work for this company we made and be a part of it. And then we'll all just go do this stuff, whether we, you know, have the numbers or not. We're in Butcher Brown. Oh, right this way.
That's pretty cool.
Richmond's a unique place, man. Like it, you know, I moved to LA 2.5 years ago. So, but I'm still here a lot and do all of that. And Richmond's not an industry town like New York or LA or Chicago, whatever. So it's not talking about any of those places, but like what happens is, you know, here, like people that are doing music are just trying to do music. It's not cart before the horse. Like, oh man, I need to get rich off of this or whatever. Like it's just, it's not a bunch of people in music that don't do anything like there is everywhere else. And like, you know, it's really just people that love music that are doing it for that sake. Of course, we're all trying to figure out how to live off of it, but it is. And I think that's, you know, I don't think this band happens in New York or LA because there's too many other things to be involved with and you know, pulling everybody in other directions, and the rent is a bunch, so you do got to go freelance. Like, it's just, you know, for this, it was just like, this all made sense for us musically, and it scratches that, like, creative itch. And it is not common that there's a band that, to you know, ask about calling the shots, like, it's to just have a band where it is 5 equal parts, like, you know, and go down to the contract or whatever, but also it's just like, we all just give, you know, and it's not like if everybody else is making suggestions and I don't have anything that I feel that my ego shot. It's just like, we just go the way that the band is feeling like, and, you know, it really is just like kind of full collaborative effort, and that again, it's just not a common business model right now. Usually it is a band is the person in front, really, and LLC is him, like, you know. And I was talking to someone in LA, and they were asking about Butcher Brown, and it was just like, yo, so you like in it, like, I mean, they like show you love, like, you ask just about like, you know, record stuff.
That's
like,
because that's
and it's like
the mentality,
just straight trauma.
It's all of us, bro. Like, it's just
straight trauma.
They think Butcher Brown is him, like, you know. I mean, you know,
want to give him a hug, man.
like,
I'm just like, nah, man, it's cool, man. It's not even like that, bro. I'm 1/5 of Butcher Brown. I'm not Butcher Brown, man.
Maybe it's like a Richmond thing in a way, like
that is
because it's not
Special
as like
place.
commercial. It's not like a big commercial project. Like, yes, it's an organization, a company, business. It helps you guys make a living, but it's like this organic thing too. So that's like, probably super rare.
That model worked for a lot of different bands that got pretty big, a lot of different like studios that got pretty big. Like, you know, some of the bands that got pretty big. Talking to some of the lawyers that work around here with some of the artists, some of the bigger artists, they split all of their paper. And I'm like, well, that's the only way you can stay big. If everybody's getting paid, it's going to be a band for a long time. But the situations where, you know, I'm not trying to say anything bad about anyone's business model. You got to do it how you do it. But generally, you know, if the pies aren't getting split, that's just a reason for somebody to become not really a part of it.
The salt is real.
And the salt, you know, it's just like it is in real life. It'll eat through your car. That's why we don't really have classics on the East Coast like that.
That's a good point. Is there anything you guys had to like unlearn along the way? Like setup processes or music habits or even like decision making? Is there anything you had to like unlearn that you could think of where like, man, along the way we had to like stop doing that? Is there anything that comes to mind?
I felt like when I joined the band, I dropped out of school like to do the band basically. So yeah, it was cool. I was hyped. When I came into the band, it'll go back to the jazz combo. There's a lot of stuff that you learn about jazz, classical music, just music in general when you're in music school. There's ways that music's been looked at for years and whatever, and there's a whole bunch of like, you can't do this, you can't do that. Like, jazz is this, it's not that. Like, and this all contributes to the combo that we have about people not thinking that jazz is this or this. And when you ask the question, it's like, to me, jazz is more than you know. Like, jazz is a whole bunch of stuff, and like you got people that are, you know, pulling up instrumentals on YouTube and like listening to samba and bossa nova stuff, and they're like, yeah, I like that. And it's like, yeah, that's all jazz. It's always all been a part of all of it. And jazz has always been fusion, where there's mad genres and mad like influences from wherever going on. So when I joined the band, I had to kind of unlearn a lot of that. I had to just shift my focus. I started getting into production and everything, and it's like, all right, like, turn off the jazz chorus, bro, like, or whatever. Like, you know, you got to kind of think of music from the wider scope that you know, because you've been doing freelance gigs around town and playing smooth jazz and playing whatever type music too. So I had to kind of just widen the scope, and I learned a bunch of whatever other stuff from school. I learned a lot of great things going to VCU too, but it's just like, again, for the band, but like coming into the band, like whatever, how my thoughts have formed is just like, music should be, you know, inclusive, and you know, you could find it's more fun for me to find similarities and things rather than the differences, and similarities between genres and similarities between whatever, the spirit of jazz music and the improv and everything. Like, we play a lot of different types of music. We just try to take that spirit and kind of spread it, just like put it through our lens, and it becomes, to us, we're still playing jazz. It's all jazz adjacent and whatever. Like, no point in yelling at somebody that it's like, that's not real.
Right.
It's like,
who's making these?
Who's making these rules?
You know what Miles Davis will be doing right now if he was like, what type of music? Like, he was already going towards the crazy fusion, craziness. Like, you know, it's always going to evolve. I think that's how we look at it, you know.
Playing original music, I think it's helped me find my own voice. Like, this band has helped me, like, not sound, because, you know, you don't have the opportunity to create your identity if you're just always doing somebody else's gig, because you're playing by their rules. This is how they want you to play this song. But in Butcher, it's like, nah, we do what we want. This is how I feel today. All right, cool. I may want to play more simple today because that's the mood I'm in. But it's like nobody's gonna look at me funny. It's like we're just able to explore and try things and be creative. You don't get that opportunity if you're like, and people got to do what they got to do. But if you got to be a side musician, you just don't have that moment to like, oh man, let me experiment with this today. Let me try these pedals out, see what happens. Hey, I'm gonna play this guitar today or these cymbals. Nobody's gonna be looking at you crazy. Like, where's that ride cymbal that you usually have with the sizzles?
Right. Yeah. I mean, like all of that stuff just gets erased, and it makes it a much more creative work environment. And we have the luxury to do that, but at the same time, it's like playing your own original music, being able to get creative with that, with a bunch of professional musicians that are good freelancers, and then being able to go back to the freelance thing and being like, oh, this song that we're about to play,
they want you for you now.
They want you to play what you were playing with Butcher. And it's like, but this is a cover band. I'm not going to do that. That's not what we're doing. But then it turns into like, oh, they want to play this country song where we have some joints that I feel like this would sound good in there. And then you can beef up the covers because now you've been messing around with the sound. And it's just like buckets that keep pouring into each other. But it's because we can do the high-powered stuff together as friends under our own rules instead of like, oh, you're out there with such and such, or you're over here, so you can't play around like that. But we go up there. We're gonna mess around with all of the stuff of that song, and we're just gonna make it up. Nobody can say what they're gonna do before we go on stage.
Yeah,
that's a good niche.
We stopped calling set. We don't even have a set.
Yeah, we didn't have a set half the time.
It's just like we just run an isolation playing basketball. All right, cool. Open run. What we doing next?
You guys got it dialed.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's going back to one of the points where it was like, how did you know it was locked in? For me, it was like when we were on tour with Kamasi.
Oh yeah,
and we had the clock. We had the clock, and we were getting really into playing 45, 60s, and 90-minute sets. But we wanted to get it to a place where like we start exactly on time and we end the last song exactly when it was done. Right. And we got into a place where Devon would literally be playing the cowbell on the last song and would point to the clock. And that one gig, we was like, cut, 46. Thank y'all. He's done.
That's actually insane. Yeah. Because I think
they're a little sick.
Yeah, like I think about other bands that have like a set time. That's not even like a thought that crossed their mind. Like they're not looking at a clock or a timer in that way. Right. It's just like, we're just trying to have a set time so that we don't go too far outside of our window. It's not like a tempo instrument. It's so that's actually pretty insane to think about.
Yeah, I mean, we were opening, so we had to be respectful of the headliners.
Yeah.
Right. These people came to see Kamasi. I mean, maybe a sprinkle were there for us too, but it was like, it got really fun though, because we didn't feel like, oh man, we're not able to play our whole show. We were like, nah, if it's 30 minutes, we're going to give you exactly 30 on the dot.
Be 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's an 8:30
minute adventure.
Yeah,
it'll be a 60-minute adventure. And I'm like, that ability to do that, to me, is like, that's what you use the music school skills for.
Right.
That's where you juice it. Like, but like with regular people, it still has to be in service of like the regular person, because like, like you were saying, like it's got to be a wide net to include as many people as possible first, and then let them decide what parts about it they don't like.
Yeah.
Because I could frame it in a way where it would be unlikable. I could frame it in a way where it's likable. That's just because I've been spending mad time with it, just like a mechanic. They could tell you something that'll make you spin or not spin. Mm-hmm. But that's their skill. That's not my skill. I don't like this. I ain't buying it. I don't want this. And it's like, okay, if you don't like this song, just know that, like, just because you didn't like that song, let this one hit you in the same neutral way and figure out how it makes you feel when you're listening to that song and decide if you like that song then, as opposed to saying, I don't like this song, I'm not going to like the next 10 songs. That's the part where jazz becomes like, oh, you need a case-by-case basis, because this one could sound like Balloons and the next one sounds like, Inferno, Fire. But if you write them all off, you miss what you actually like.
Right.
Which is
you gotta
the
go
unicorn joint. After that.
You got to take the ride.
Miles Davis says something along the lines of like, it's like a buffet. You just take what you like.
You just take what you like, and that's it.
That's great. I like that. Yeah, it's real good.